who else saw Trump's birthday parade flop and thought, wait a sec, why does it still feel like the internet is 60% MAGA? Because same here, the streets were basically empty. Fewer than 9,000 people showed up. But online, Trump was everywhere. He was trending, far-right posts dominated, and it felt like we were back in 2020. Meanwhile, a grassroots protest called No Kings pulled between 5 to 12 million people into the streets, including massive crowds in small towns across swing states that Trump actually won. And yet, your feed probably made it look like Trump's movement was the one catching fire. That disconnect isn't accidental, it's engineered. The internet's turned into an illusion machine, hijacked by bots, psyops, weaponized algorithms, and billionaire propaganda networks. They're trying to wear you down, make fringe ideologies feel like the mainstream even when they're falling apart. So today, we're breaking down why way more people showed up to tell Trump to F off than to support him, and why that fact is so damn shocking if you've been living online. If what you see on the streets doesn't match what you feel online, and it's making you feel nuts, good. That means your brain still works. Because that weird disconnect is by design. The internet is doing exactly what it was built to do. Your feed is just showing you what's profitable. And that means rage bait, doom spirals, manufactured consensus, the kind of stuff that grabs your attention and won't let go. In 2023, a network of just 1,305 bots pushed a fake election narrative, and it got over 3 million views. When you can't tell what's real, you start doubting everything. And once that doubt creeps in, action dies. And that's how confusion becomes a weapon. So let's kill a myth. Online popularity does not equal public opinion. In fact, up to 50% of all web traffic is bots. They argue, they retweet, they quote each other, sometimes even fight with themselves. Not because they believe in anything, but because you do. And they want that belief to fall apart. You're not actually scrolling through a free marketplace of ideas like people love to say when you go on the internet. You're actually walking through a soundstage. The set's been dressed, the extras are fake, and the whole production was bankrolled by billionaires, foreign agents, and machine learning puppeteers. So let's break down how the illusion works. Picture this. You walked into a jam-packed stadium. Every seat is taken. People are cheering, booing, arguing. The energy is absolutely wild until you squint a little harder and realize half the crowd is cardboard cutouts, and the rest are reading from a script. That's the internet right now. Almost half of all web traffic is bots, not spam bots, purpose-built, behaviorally engineered accounts that train to mimic human engagement. A lot of them are running simple prompt loops, like defend Trump no matter what. Some even use tools like ChatGPT to auto-generate replies in real time. So when someone criticizes Trump online, it looks like dozens of diehard supporters are clapping back, but most of it's fake. These bots argue with each other, create fake threads, build fake consensus, and flood replies until it feels like one side has massive support. So what you're seeing is a scripted performance, an illusion of mass agreement that doesn't actually exist. And because algorithms love engagement, this staged fight gets amplified. It starts trending and it dominates your feed, not because it's real, but because it's relentless. The more pissed off you are, the longer you scroll, the more ad money those platforms make. So what do the algorithms do? They feed your fury. Facebook gets angry reactions 5 times the weight of a like. Twitter boosts velocity over accuracy. YouTube, it used to be a full-blown radicalization funnel, and it might still be, pushing people from a news clip to extremist content in just a few clicks. A 2020 MIT study found that false news spreads 70% faster than truth. Why? Because rage sticks, and lies spread faster when they confirm your worst fears. That's their business model. So if your feed feels flooded with extreme takes, it's not because the world suddenly snapped. It's because the algorithm decided madness pays more. This isn't just random chaos. This illusion machine has architects, and 2 of the biggest forces behind it, Russian psyops and America's far-right tech aristocracy, they're not enemies. They're actually collaborators. Foreign influence meets domestic power. Back in 2016, Trump's campaign manager, Paul Manafort, literally handed secret voter targeting data to a Russian agent named Konstantin Kilimnin. US intelligence confirmed this. At the same time, Russian troll farms were busy pushing memes, staging Facebook events, and seeding disinformation to suppress Democratic turnout and pump up Trump's legitimacy. All they did was amplify what was already rotting in the American far right. It was strategic overlap, where domestic extremism and foreign subversion used the same damn playbook. Enter Peter Thiel, billionaire founder of PayPal, Palantir, and one of the darkest anti-democratic forces in the world. This man literally wrote, "I no longer believe that freedom and democracy are compatible." He meant it. Thiel's company Palantir built surveillance software for ICE, predictive policing tools for law enforcement, and I've got a whole video breaking down that villain arc, so go watch it. His political allies openly question voting rights. They don't want more people participating, they want fewer. Because to Thiel and his crew, democracy isn't noble, it's just a bad UX for capitalism. And they're not trying to win hearts, they're completely bypassing it with algorithms, data funnels, and systems so complex that public consent stops mattering. And the internet is their playground, a perfect test lab to see how far they can bend reality before it finally snaps. Here's the dirty secret in American politics. The authoritarian right keeps losing the popular vote, but somehow they keep gaining power. How? They don't need to win debates or gain majority support, they just need to win perception in the optics. They can shape belief, rig the scoreboard so well that people forget what a majority even looks like. The bandwagon effect was weaponized. If something looks popular, people assume it's legit. If it feels like it has momentum, people jump on. That's how our brains are wired. But online, that's a feedback loop on steroids. So fake accounts boost extreme takes, the algorithm boosts that engagement, real people see it and think, damn, maybe I'm alone in how I feel, and boom, that's the trap. The illusion isn't just inflating their side, it is deflating yours. Millions of people show up to protest and that gets buried. But if 100 MAGA bots post the same garbage slogan, suddenly it's trending. This is simulated suppression. Make the real majority feel small, scattered, and powerless so they stop showing up. And once that happens, the illusion becomes real. They can't win honestly, so they win artificially. Let's be honest, the authoritarian right hasn't won the popular vote in 7 out of the last 8 presidential elections. That should be disqualifying. In a functioning democracy, that would matter. But instead, they've rigged the system sideways, with gerrymandered districts, voter ID laws and voter roll purges, closing polling places in black and brown neighborhoods, and exploiting the electoral college. And now, add digital illusion warfare to the stack. Bots, trends, fake engagement, algorithmic force, they're not trying to earn your vote. They just want you to stop believing your vote matters at all. This is the end game, the final boss level of illusion warfare. Make the majority believe that they're the minority. And once that belief sets in, they don't need to suppress you or silence you or even win votes. They just let learned helplessness do the job. The biggest casualty here isn't truth, it's belief. In each other, in collective action, in the idea that change is even possible. Because when you think you're the last sane person in the room, what do? You shut up, you doom scroll, you text your one trusted friend who gets it. But you don't organize or speak up, and you don't show up with your fire. Because deep down, you're convinced it won't matter. That's engineered hopelessness. And that's what the illusion machine does best. Separate the people who should be united and drown them in fake outrage. Distract them with culture war bait. Disorient them with viral lies. Fragment them until everyone's sitting in their own quiet, isolated little corner, silenced and pre-defeated. At this point, you probably realize this isn't just chaos, and it's definitely not just how the internet is. It's a strategy and a business model, a full-on governing system. What we're living through is digital colonialism, where platforms act like empires, billionaires play monarchs, and democracy is just another interface that they're redesigning. Think Twitter is just a troll swap? Sure, but it's also something way bigger. It's a megaphone for empire. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube aren't neutral platforms. They're behavioral engineering machines. They control what gets seen, what gets buried, and who gets erased. Every algorithm tweak is a power play. Every moderation decision is geopolitical, and every shadow ban, boost, and trend is a fight for who gets to define reality. And guess what? Because these platforms are owned by billionaires, the same people keep winning. This isn't just about misinformation, it's reality displacement. Old institutions like the press, elections, civic forums are being hollowed out and replaced by algorithmic consensus engines that are trained on flawed data. And the people who run those engines are unelected and they don't want to be known. Let's drop the Doomsday Act. This isn't some untouchable machine, because here's the thing, the illusion isn't powered by the tech, it's powered by our participation in the tech. And the moment you stop feeding it, when you really see it for what it is, it breaks. You don't have to win arguments online. You don't have to dunk on trolls. You just have to see clearly and help one more person see clearly too. Pattern recognition is a superpower, so start noticing the signs. If you see the same content or the same idea 10 times from different users, that's a bot swarm. If a topic's trending but no one in your life is talking about it, that's likely manufactured hype. All caps headlines, emotionally manipulative phrasing, that's all algorithm bait. So train your brain to spot the patterns and call it out when you see it. Share what you're noticing with your people. That's awareness, and it's our edge. Physical reality is the ultimate fact check. So go to a protest, talk to your neighbors, look at who actually voted, and read the actual bill, not just a summary. When everything online feels warped and overwhelming, ground yourself in the real world. Real people, real turnout, real action. That's your reality. Your physical environment does not lie, and it does not run on bot traffic. Look, it's not enough to unplug and just disappear. The illusion isn't something you passively fall for, it's something you can interrupt. So start naming it out loud, online, in real life. You don't need to convince everyone, you just need to break the spell for one person at a time. Say something like, "This feels fake," or "Why is this suddenly everywhere? Who benefits if I believe this?" This goes beyond arguing with trolls and enters into rebuilding a shared sense of reality, one clear-eyed, grounded person at a time. And once enough of us see through the fog, the illusion shatters. Now, if you want the unfiltered, receipts-backed, algorithm-proof version of this, join the Cyber Resistance Club. That's where I share everything I can't say on YouTube without getting suppressed. The receipts, the history, and the tools to fight back with clarity and confidence. You get the full ebook instantly and a whole library of resources that won't vanish in the algorithm void.